Now let us go back to number 2 of this polymorphic complex anaphor, namely ne part. As you can see in the handout, Subbarao glosses this as oblique here, but it can also be a genitive. So then the question arises whether it is an oblique or a genitive. They are quite different from each other. Well, if it's oblique, then how come up, which is the one part nearer to the post position, does not get altered at all, and the farther one, the first part, not only gets reduced but gets an oblique marking? And if it's genitive, how come we can admit something like apne ko, where there is no semantics of genitive or possession at all? So this leads to the discussion point number 1. But before that, also note in this connection how when we come to look at Dravidian, we'll see how anaphors are formed there. And it will be interesting to see how in Telugu, for example, which is discussed in the book, has a direct bearing on this issue. Let us look at the discussion point, and I would like you to consider this as a weekly task. And this is discussion point number 2. Is the second part, that is number 2 part, oblique or genitive? Find out if you can solve this with material from the book. See in particular page 46. Consider, for example, in this connection the form apne ko. Okay, so you can say apne ko, but you can't say apna ko, right? That's out. This should be a clue for you to decide whether this is oblique or it's genitive. And just a word of caution that there is no one final word, and as you go along, immediately in fact when we look at Dravidian after this, we'll have some more hints about how to go about solving this problem. When apne aap is not followed by a postposition, it is an emphatic. Now let us look at an example of possessive anaphor or possessive reflexive, and that is apna, which is self, and genitive, that is selves. And this too is usually followed by a postposition. So apne ko, for example, where it is glossed as apne is glossed as self oblique and ko is accusative. Now, as I said, this is usually followed by a postposition. Apart from this anaphor and the possessive anaphor, the two examples we saw are apne aap and apne. We also have a simplex form of the anaphor, which is apne. Okay, so the anaphor is apne aap, and a simplex form of that anaphor is apna, in fact, which takes again a postposition and therefore becomes apne. Right? So apne can be either a simplex form of the anaphor, or it could be a possessive anaphor. When it is a simplex form of the anaphor, it does not have any possessive semantics or possessive interpretation. Now let us look at the table of complex and simplex anaphor forms and possessive anaphor forms in Hindi. And in the complex form, we have apne aap, which is followed by a postposition, here shown as ko, se, par, me. That is accusative. Se can be instrumental or ablative, par locative, and me is locative as well. The simplex form is really apna and followed by a postposition, and you get again ko, se, par, me. And here ko is accusative, se is instrumental, par and me are locative. Furthermore, we have this possessive anaphor or possessive reflexive, as was pointed out earlier, apna, which is self and genitive. Okay, so here in this, if we look at this part of the table, this apna does not have a complex form, and apna here is glossed as self and genitive. This probably is also another clue for solving the puzzle which was pointed out in discussion point number 2.